Hare Krishna. Om Gyanti Mirandasya Ganangna Shlakya Chakshurumlitamina Смайши Гурвен Мха Шичитани Манобистам Стапитимен Бутале Сварпакадамахям Дедати Свападантикам Вандехам Шигуру Шютападакамалам Шигурун Вешнивам Шча Ширупас Гараджатам Сакнарагунатан Витам Танса Дживам. Сдватим Савдутам Париджана Сахитам Кришна Читания Девам Ширата Кришна Падан Сахаканалурта Шивишакан Витам Шча. Хе Кришна Каруна Синду Дина Банду Джагатпате Купеше Гопика Канта Рада Канта на мостуте Тапта Канчна Горанги Раде Вриндаванешвари Вриша Панусуте Деви Принамами Хари Прие. Hare Krishna. Now I will again try to sing the pranam mantras of His Divine Grace by Charnara Vrinda, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, and of his Diksha Guru, Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada. Then the Panchatattva mantra, which glorifies Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his eternal associates in Gaura Lila. And then Mahamantra and Jayarada Madhava, this beautiful song from Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, the father of Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, who is the guru of His Divine Grace by Charnara Vrinda Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, the guru of our Prabhupada. This song, Jayarada Madhava, you all know it, all the Vaishnavas, all the devotees know this song. This is a song which Srila Prabhupada was always singing before lectures, and it describes Vrindavana and the mood of Vrindavana. Yes, just a moment. Okay. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatya Deshatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Srivasati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama
Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Madhava
Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Yashoda Nandana
Jaya Vraja Janaranjana
Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava
Jaya Kunja Bihari
Jaya Gopi Janavalabha Jaya Giri Varadari Jaya Yashoda Nandana
Jaya Vraja Janaranjana
Jaya Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Now I will again read from uh, Bhagavat-Gita. Mm, I was the last time at verse of chapter 7, verse 16. Chapter 7, verse 16. Now I will continue with the next one. Well, yes. Okay, the next one given here is 7:19. This is um, mm, this is these are not all the verses of Bhagavad Gita, but the most representative ones, which were selected from a Maharaj. Of course, every verse of Bhagavad Gita is important and wonderful, but these are those verses who represent Bhagavad Gita, really. Okay, let us see. Um, yes, next one, 7:19.
Bahunam Janmanam
Ante Jnanava
Ma Prapadyate
Vasudeva Sarvamiti
Samahatmatsu
Durlabha So, translation. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is, says Krishna. Such a great soul is very rare. The next verse, 720. 720 and 721 are the next ones.
Kama Istais Tair Harita Jnada Prapadyante Nyadevata
Tam tam niyamamashtaya
Prakritiya Niyata
svaya yo yo yamya
Tanam Bhakta Shradaya Chitum Ichati
tasya tasya cha
Shradam Tameva Vidami
Translation. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. I am in everyone's heart as the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigod, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself to that particular deity. The next two are 722 and 723.
Satya Shradaya Yukta Starsya Dana Ihate Labate Chatata Kamamaiva Vihita Hita Antavatu Tishantabhavati Alphamedasa Deva Devayaju Yanti Madbhakta Yanti Mahapi Mahapi.
Translation verses 722 and 723. Endowed with such a faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigod and obtains his desires. But actually, these benefits are bestowed by me alone, says Krishna. The next one, 723. Men of small intelligence worship the demigods, and their fruits are limited and temporary. Those who worship the demigods go to the planets of the demigods, but my devotees ultimately reach my supreme planet. The next two, no, okay, the next one, 724.
Avyaktam Vyakti Apanamanyata Mahabudaya Parambhava Ajananto Mama Vyaya Anutama.
Translation. Unintelligent men who do not know me perfectly, says Krishna, think that I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, was impersonal before and have now assumed this personality. Due to their small knowledge, they do not know my higher nature, which is imperishable and supreme. Next verse 7. Next two verses 725 and 726.
Naham prakasha sarvasya yogamaya samavrita modoyana bijanati
Lokomahapajamavyaya
vedam samatitane
Vartmanane Charjuna
bhavishane chabutane
Mantu Vedana Kashana. Translation of verses 725 and 726. I am never manifested to the foolish and unintelligent. For them I am covered by my internal potency, and therefore they do not know that I am unborn and infallible. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities. but me no one knows. Okay, the next two verses, 727 and 728.
Ichadvisha samudhena dvandvamohena bharata sarvabhutani samaha sajayati paratapa ye satviyantagata
Papamyananam punya
karmanam te dvandva
mohanirmukta bhajante
maham drita
vrita. Verses 727 and 728, the translation. O sign of Bharata, O conqueror of the foe, all living entities are born into delusion, bewildered by dualities, arising from desire and hate. Persons who have acted piously in previous lives and in this life, and whose sinful actions are completely eradicated, are freed from the dualities of delusion, and they engage themselves in my service with determination. Chapter 8, Taraka Brahma Yoga, verses 8:5 and 8:6. So, chapter 8, verses 5 and 6.
antakala chamameva smaranukva kalivara ye prayati samadbhava yati dasi atra samsara yamyamapi smaran bhava
Tiyajati ante kalevara
tam tameva iti kaunteya
sadatad bhava bhavatitaha bhavitaha. Translation. Translation of verses 8:5 and 8:6. Krishna continues to talk to Arjuna and all the other soldiers before the battle of Kurukshetra, and also to Sanjaya and the king, which are far away, but Sanjaya can hear and see what is going on, and he's explaining this to the king. So verses 8:5 and 8:6 translation. And whoever at the end of his life quits his body remembering me alone, at once attains my nature. Of this there is no doubt. Whatever state of being one remembers, when he quits his body, O son of Kunti, that state he will attain without fail. The next two verses are given here are 8:7 and 8:14.
tasmat sarveshu kaleshu mamananu smarayudacha mai arpita manobodhi mamavasya samsaya ananiya cheta satata Yoma Smarati Nityasha Tasya Sulabha
Partanitya Yuktasya Yogina. So, translation of the verses 8, 7, and 8:14. Therefore, O Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time carry out your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt. And the next 8:14. For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain, O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. So the next one is 8:15, and I will continue the next time with it. So we heard now from Bhagavat-Gita that if one is always engaged in devotional service and one always remembers Krishna without deviation, this person will obtain Krishna. So it's not here the question to obtain Krishna, but how to say, we cannot obtain Krishna. Krishna is the God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We cannot just think, okay, I will obtain him now and then really successfully really be able to obtain God. One cannot do this actually. But if one very naturally and livingly thinks about Krishna and tries and serves Krishna with love, then Krishna is so satisfied and so happy. The divine couple Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna, they are Radha and Krishna, they are so satisfied and so happy with such a person that they want this person in their community of devotees. They want this person there with them always. So in this way, one obtains Krishna actually. Just this person, this devotee, serves God, serves Radha and Krishna, serves the divine couple so nicely and lovingly that the divine couple Radha and Krishna, Shrimati Radhika and Shri Krishna, they want this person always with them. They want this person in their community of gopis and gopas and devotees. In this way, one obtains Krishna. So, and it is written, we heard here in this verse 8:7 of Bhagavad Gita, no, of 8:14, 8:14, yes. It was said, we heard a minute ago, that if one remembers Krishna, always without deviation, for this person, Krishna is easy to be obtained. The divine couple is easy to be obtained because this person is actually constantly engaged in devotional service. This person, of course, this is not easy. One learns that from the mm, from the other devotees who have experience in devotional service, from the guru, from the teachers, from the shiksha guru, from the other devotees, and And from the scriptures, it is not just that just one begins to do a devotional service. It is, of course, a process. Yes, but we see here what Krishna says. Who is always remembering Krishna without deviation? For this person, Krishna is easy to be obtained. Krishna is saying himself that. Krishna himself says this in verse 8:14 of Bhagavat-Gita. We hear this. We have heard this a minute ago. And really, when we read from, when we look at verse 5 in Sri Shikshastaka, which was spoken from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the 16th century, really, one says there, Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram, Patita Mam Vishambhavam Budo, Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja, Stitadulista Sham Vichintaya. Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram, Patita Mam Vishambhavam Budo, Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja, Stitadulista Sham Vichintaya. Ai Nanda Tanuja Kinkaram, Patita Mam Vishambhavam Budo, Kripaya Tava Pada Pankaja, Stitadulista Sham Vichintaya. Oh, my Lord, somehow I have come in this condition in this world. Somehow I am now in this world, in this condition. But oh, please, Lord, please be merciful to me and consider me as a particle of dust or a particle of sand affixed at your lotus feet, and in this way purchase me as your eternal servant. So we see how a pure devotee is praying to the Lord. Because we all know that in Shri Shikshastaka, every verse is expressing the love of a pure devotee to Krishna. This which is written in this verse, Bhagavad-Gita 8:14, which we heard some minutes ago, that one have to be constantly engaged in devotional service, and one should think always about Krishna, lovingly about Krishna, about the divine couple Shrimati Radhika and Shri Krishna. This is also expressed it is instructed. There are the instructions in Sri Shikshastaka how one can come to this state, because pure devotees, it is shown in Sri Shikshastaka how the pure devotees pray to Krishna, how the pure devotees think about Krishna. Actually, it is described in every verse of Sri Shikshastaka how a pure devotee cries in separation from Krishna. In this way, it is expressed there. Also, the Madhanakya Mahabhava, the highest love in all the worlds of Srimati Radhika to Shri Krishna. Because the topmost pure devotee, Srimati Radhika, we know this from verse 10 of Shri Upadeshamrita of Srila Rupa Goswami. And also, there are many other pure devotees after Radhika, of course, but there are many other pure devotees like the Gopis of Vrindavan, the Gopas also, all the eternal associates of Srimati Radhika and Shri Krishna in Vraja Lila. Narada Muni, Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, and many others. So we see Srila Narayana Maharaj, and we see Um, in this way, how in every verse of Shri Shikshastakam is explained how a pure devotee cries in separation from Krishna. So let us see where I was the last time in the reading from the book Shri Shikshastakam, which is a translation in English from Srila Narayan Maharaj of Sri Sanmodana Basim of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura. And I was reading somewhere in the commentaries of. Okay, in this book are not only the commentaries of Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura, but also commentaries from his son, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura Prabhupada, the guru of our Prabhupada, the Diksha guru of our Prabhupada. His commentaries are there, and I think now I am in his commentaries about the second verse of Shri Shikshastakam. Yes. The next paragraph was the meaning of Durdaiva. The living entity is Chetana conscious. The principal meaning of the word Chetana is that the living entity has independence, but when the jiva misuses the independence and remains uninterested in the Lord, the jiva is bound in the perishable kingdom of Maya. This is his or her Durdaiva misfortune. The word Durdaiva refers to the living entity's apathy towards the service of Bhagavan, known as Bhagavat Seva Vimukhata. We see how this is also connected with this verse from Bhagavad-Gita, which we heard some minutes ago, 8:14. It is also a little bit connected with that because it is saying, it is explaining what is this misfortune for the jiva, for the soul. The misfortune is when one uh, does not have any interest in service to Krishna. This is this Durdaiva misfortune. Yes. So the next paragraph. When the living entity embarks upon the threefold path of enjoyment, namely Anyabilasita, Karma, and Jnana, he or she forgets her true identity and thus meets with disaster. The term Anyabilasita literally means desorousness, desirousness, desirousness, having desires. Yes. It refers to the state of being driven or impelled by material desires. Under the sway of Anyabilashita, the living entity becomes intoxicated with desires to satisfy his or her own mind and body. In this way, he or she becomes attached to the happiness of this inert material world. Yes, it is also, as we see, it is also connected with those verses which we heard today from Bhagavad Gita, from chapter 7 and 8. Okay, now I will come to an end already. Thank you so much for your attention. As you all know, I'm not qualified on such topics like Vedic literature, so if I try to say something connected with Vedic literature, I'm I'm not trying to. In that case, I'm not trying to instruct anybody. I'm just only trying to understand these things. Of course, one have to try to understand Vedic literature under the guidance of teachers, under the guidance of Diksha Guru and Shiksha Gurus. All of you who are Vaishnavas, who are devotees, all of you, you are my teachers, you are my gurus. I pay obeisances to you, Dandavat Pranam. Vanchakalpatarupascha, Kripasanthupevacha, Patitana Pavanebhyo, Vaishnavebhyo, Namo Namaha.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Jagannath, Jaya Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra, Jai Nrsimhadev, Jai Nrsimhadev, Jai Nrsimhadev, Jai Nrsimhadev. Gauranitai, 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 Jai Shri Shri Gauranitai, 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 Jai Jai Shri Shri Gauranitai, Jai Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jaya Gurudev, Jai Gurudev, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Radha 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 Madhava, Jaya Radhe Radha Gopinath, Jaya Radha Radha Madhava, Radha Gopinath, Jaya Radha Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Radha Gokulananda, Jai Shri Radha. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Shri Prabhupada. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Namaste Narasimhaya.
Sorry.
Namaste Narasimhaya.
Praladaladaine
Hiranyakashipurvaksha
Shilatankanakalaye
Ito Nrishimha
Parato Nrishimho Yato Yato Yami
Tato
Tato Nrishimho
Bahirnishimha Hridayendrishimha Drishimha Din Sharanyam Prapadya Bahirnishimha Hridayendrishimha
Vishipodi Sharanya Prapadye Tava Karakamalavare
Nakama Buddha Shringa
Dalita Hiranyakashipu Tanobringa Keshavadrita
Narirupa Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Jagadisha Hare
Jaya Jagadisha Hare Jaya Jagadisha Hare
Janrishim Jinishimha Janrishimha Jaya Janrishimha De Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Patpabri Jinishimha Janrishimha Jaya Janrishimha De Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padmabri Jinishimha Janrishimha Jaya Janrishimha De Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padmabri Jinishimha Janrishimha Jaya Janrishimha De Prahlodesha Jaya Bhakta Mukha Padmabri Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for your attention.